Over the weekend, the UAE and India agreed to allow eligible passengers to board repatriation flights on both legs between the two countries up until the 26th of July. Faraz Javid caught up with stranded UAE residents in India who have been wanting to get home, as well as some of the lucky few who made it back here through charter flights.
Hundreds of UAE residents stranded in India were relieved to hear that the Indian Civil Aviation Ministry has finally agreed to carry out repatriation flights to the UAE starting this week.
Well, indeed, it's a good news because we have been waiting since 4 months to hear some positive news.
The residents who are stuck in India, they can now go back in this around 15 days window.
To fight the coronavirus, India shut down all of its international commercial flights from the 25th of March, leaving thousands of UAE residents in India devastated.
I feel devastated that I can't go back home to my family right now, and I hope that the authorities do something about it.
I'm into a mental stress, mental trauma, because I came to India in the month of March. Basically, there are two things that is affecting. Number one, which is family, obvious. When I came to India, my daughter was 4 months old, and by now she's 8 months. My wife and my kids are without me. And second thing, people are in India for a long time, so we have a very big fear of losing our jobs as well.
For some UAE residents, getting back home was the only mission, leaving them with no choice but to board chartered flights to reunite them with their families in Dubai.
My basic worry was these two being all alone over here. We were doing a video chat, and she had tears in her eyes and she said that, "Papa, when are you coming back? When are you coming back?" Psychologically, she's thinking, why is my father wearing a mask, or why is my father not at home? So that really broke my heart. I said, no, I need to get there.
Mustafa was lucky enough to be one of those who made it back to Dubai, even if it meant taking on one of the hardest and most expensive trips of his life.
The most important thing was the cost. How are we going to get 135,000 dirhams? Then the biggest challenge was 13 people who would trust me, because if one guy backed out, others of us would have to pay, and in the end I managed to get them to agree to the cost. 13 people coming together, listening to me, and then coming to Bombay to take the final flight.
The average cost of chartering a 10-seater plane from Mumbai to Dubai is around $40,000, meaning each passenger has to shell out $4,000. That's 8 times the price of a regular fare on a commercial airliner.
Our anniversary, our 10th anniversary is this month, so I had saved up a lot of money to give her a gift, but then we had to use it for this. But then we earn for our family, we live for our family. Whatever we do for our family. So the money that's spent is well spent. It could have gone towards her gift for the anniversary, but then being with them was more important.
Meanwhile, Dubai-based DC Aviation says during the pandemic, they've seen a shift in their clientele.
We have seen an increase in flights where passengers are sharing the cost of the flight. The average load on a private jet would have been sort of 3 to 4 passengers. Now what we're seeing is maximum full capacity. We don't focus on selling seats. There are companies out there, especially in Europe, that follow that business model of selling seats on a private jet. But our business model here in the Middle East is selling the whole aircraft.
And of course, regardless of which service passengers choose, stringent safety protocols are a must.
Once an aircraft arrives, aircraft is fully disinfected. Crew wear gloves and masks at all times during the flight. The cutlery glasses have been removed and replaced with plastic to minimize the risk of infection. Once the passengers arrive here at the facility, they're taken to the airside clinic where they will undergo a COVID-19 test.
Now, India's announced plans to open up its airspace for commercial flights on the 31st of July, but experts say this might be postponed further due to the rising rate of COVID-19 infections in the country. Plus, with WHO warning of an impending second wave around the world, there's a good chance that countries will continue with border restrictions in the near future. Faraz Javid, Emirates News.